I could hear the springs. I could hear my soul leaving my body for exactly 1 second with that clap. That was great.
It exploded.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you know the drill. We're back. Brutal Review. Sorry that was such a long single week since the last episode. Man,
Fail.
7 days has never felt so long.
Fail.
7 days ago. Yeah, no, we're still doing the thing. Our method of podcasting is not super effective, but we're getting it together. I'm here. I'm Fancy Dan. This is Kev. How was your Easter
What's
weekend,
up,
baby?
everyone? It was pretty chill. Hung out with the family a bunch. You know, brother came into town, so we just had a pretty good time hanging out. Did some golf, some various stuff like that. So pretty chill. How about yourself?
Some golf, yeah. I was invited to my new girlfriend's family's get together, and they wanted me to throw axes and teach them how to throw axes. So we're out there in the hill country with like these, 60-year-old parents and like 15-year-old knucklehead nephews, and nobody got hurt or died, so that's always fun.
That's good.
Even though
you're like, I'm not liable. Sign these waivers.
For sure. Hey, we're out in the middle of nowhere. Let's play with blades, right? So.
Yo.
Yeah,
as is tradition around here.
Oh, yeah, of course. Every high Christian holiday involves blades, for sure.
Absolutely.
Speaking of blades, I'm looking at a track called Vast Forest of the Impaled Cadavers, which I'm a big fan of already. Tell me about Unflesh.
Yeah, so this is a band out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. They're a pretty small band. I was kind of surprised because the music is pretty sweet. You know, this is another one of those ones where I think, like, their instrumentation, their level of performance is really good. It surprises me that they only have like 2.5 thousand followers on like
real?
Facebook.
Really?
Yeah. But so they dropped this, and it's actually their second album. It's called Inhumation. I had not heard of these guys before this week, but I am big fan now. This definitely falls into that modern death metal or modern melodic death metal style. Yeah. So if you're a fan of the Black Dahlia Murder, Arsis, The Absence, Wretched, these are your dudes.
Very cool. I'm checking Unflesh out on Spotify. Monthly listeners, 951. That's still not a lot. Wow. Less than 1,000 listeners per song, which is, I mean, they're small, man. How'd you find these guys?
Yeah, it was on the Metal Injection weekly list for new albums. I was just scrolling down and I saw it and it mentioned melodic death metal, and I'm like, all right, well, let's give this a spin. And it was really, really damn good. So you guys know the drill. Follow this band.
Like, subscribe, thrash. Here we go. I'm gonna play about a minute of this 5-minute Vast Forest of Impaled Cadavers. Love the name. I love how it just starts with that.
It's one of those things where it has like an intro track, and then this is the first actual track of the album, but it definitely hits very hard. Face melting. Ah!
Dude, starts heavy, stays heavy, it's heavy.
Hell yeah.
These guys are sick.
It's got what you need.
These guys are sick. New Hampshire, you say. Okay, cool.
What I loved when I was looking on Facebook, I was trying to see where they were from, and all it said was extreme metal from the fleshless domain. And I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's how we know. Fleshless domain is the, Atlantic Northeast. It's good stuff, right?
Yeah, it's coming from a different dimension. So you definitely get all those good, tasty melodic death metal riffs. You get the blast beats. You get those awesome leads. There's some really good solo work in this album too. We didn't get to any of the solos yet, but there's definitely some pretty good lead work. So these guys play at a very excellent level, and their music is very tight and professional. So I'm just really surprised that
for a band with like 900 subscribers on one of the larger music platforms on the internet at the moment. Their sound is very, very up there. You know, it sounds very tight. It's crazy.
Yeah. And they're self-released too, like
really. That's cool.
Yeah. Dude, so they're legit.
Check these guys out.
Check out Unflesh.
New Hampshire, baby. New Hampshire metal. Moving on. Haunt. Now I've heard of these guys. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to jump the gun there. I'm so sorry. I've heard of
I swear this doesn't always happen.
I mean, it does, but you know, that's fine. That's fine. Just make fun of my dick, Kevin. That's great. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Tell me about Haunt, because I've heard of these guys before, don't know much about them, and I think you might have been the one to play them while I was around at some point. But go ahead.
Possibly so. This is a band that I think definitely is up your alley. They're kind of like a standard, you know, heavy metal, power metal type band. There's definitely a lot of the like new wave of British heavy metal influence in this. You know, you get a lot of that lead work that you kind of get out of like Maiden and Priest and stuff like that. They were originally started as a solo project by their main member, Trevor William Church.
Okay.
He eventually evolved the band into a full lineup, but he's still the main songwriter and does all the, you know, writing himself. And on the original stuff, he recorded almost all the instruments besides drums. It's always cool to see people that like not only can write everything but play it kind of thing too. So.
Oh yeah, no, that's actually one of my favorite. I won't call it a gimmick, but one of my favorite things that some bands can do is multi-instrumentalists like just doing the entire damn thing and then forming the band around it. I love it whenever that happens because it's very clear that there was a singular purpose in mind from the get-go, and it's not like a collaborative like, you know what I mean?
Yep. That's with Ghost. Tobias Forge does everything. Sabaton started that way. Joachim did like everything in the early days. Like Primo Victoria is like almost all Joachim. So like,
I mean, it's good.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's awesome. But yeah, so these guys just give you that like old school feel. The one thing I'll say, and I'll wait for you to hear it first, and then I'll mention it. But there's something with the vocals in particular for me. So if you want to smash that play button.
Something good, you say?
So it's not bad. It's just different. That's what I'll say.
Interesting.
And I'll see if you got the same vibe as me afterwards.
Okay. All right. Any particular track?
Just smack that boy. Start it off right.
Okay, there is something odd going on, but I can't put my finger on it. I think it has something to do with the mastering, but if you would allow me exactly 20 seconds, can I show you what it reminds me of?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Bitchy, I'm love was still that day. Emo like Sasuke. She's so kawaii, so try so hard to make her scream.
So that's not a slam. It just that's the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah. So see, it's funny because, you know, what I was going to say is that the vocals to me almost have like a pop punk sound to it.
Yes.
And so it's like interesting to hear that on top of like new wave British heavy metal style, you know, music. But it's funny that was your first thought, because what pops into my head when I hear this song is fucking Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Escape from the City.
Yes. Yes, the ultimate slam song. No. Unironically, a masterpiece. No.
Oh, it's a great song.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But yeah,
I get it. It's like the vocal style that you hear in this is very akin to things that are so accessible that they are marketed to kids. And it's not a slam on that style. It's just you don't expect to hear that from a band with a skull on the album cover that is like marketing themselves as like 80s-ish metal, right? You know? Yeah.
I will say, though, it definitely totally works, and it grew on me very quickly. Like, a couple tracks into the album, and I was just completely in love with it. So.
Yeah. No, let me clarify. I don't hate it by any means. I just thought that was a hilarious comparison to make. I'm going to jump ahead to a different track just because I'm curious.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Do it.
I don't hate it. I actually kind of like it. Well done. I love this.
I thought this would be one that be really up your alley for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
It's it's surprising, but I mean, I'm down for it. Haunt. Okay. And this is coming out this week, or it has already come out?
This came out back on Friday.
Beautiful.
2nd.
Okay. Well then, there you go.
3rd, whatever Friday was. Yeah.
Full album. Haunt. Beautiful Distraction.
Absolutely good.
Yeah, check them out. Next up, Zao. Is that how you pronounce this, or
Zayo?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I love how I have just the easiest layup of a name in the world, and I still just trash it. Son of a bitch.
Zao. No.
Zao.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me about Zayo, for sure.
So Zayo is known to be one of the like big early metalcore bands. They're definitely one of the I wouldn't maybe not pioneers, but one of the early adopters of the metalcore genre, and really helped like push it to the forefront. They actually started all the way back in '93, but their like main lineup has been kind of like a consistent thing since '98. What's really interesting is that none of the original members are actually in the band anymore, but they've had the same core of dudes since like '98. So it was like, while it's not the original group anymore, they're more intricate as the band than like the original members ever were. Okay, which is really interesting.
So what you're telling me is that it started as one band, and then within those 5 years, it like kind of jumbled around and solidified into completely different guys. But those guys have been the band since '98.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay. There's like been one or two lineup changes here or there, but like, yeah, they've been the band longer than the actual like original band was.
That's hilarious. Dread Pirate Roberts type shit, dude. Okay, cool.
Exactly.
Cool.
But yeah, so these guys are really sick. You know, they've been around for a long time, and they definitely brought that like, you know, like old school hardcore feel mixed in with some of the more like early metal adoptions, and they just keep that going. Like this new album, The Crimson Corridor, is going to be so sick. It comes out this Friday, and it's awesome to have something new from them, because it's been 5 years since we've had a new Zayo album.
Okay.
So I'm pretty excited.
Very cool. I always love it whenever we do stuff that's coming up, you know, just because there is that hype that's building, you know. So here we go. The Final Ghost lyric video. Slam it.
I always just love those dissonant notes.
Okay, top tier lyrics. I gotta tell you, simple. Well, not even really simple, but natural imagery, right? Mm-hmm. And they're referencing some pretty weird stuff. So the honey from the lion skull thing. What is that? I've heard this before. Oh yeah, duh. Son of a bitch, duh. Okay, yeah. Honey from the lion skull. It's a reference to Samson, the biblical hero, the judge. There's a really weird thing that's like a symbolic prophecy that happens in that story where he finds a dead lion and some like bees have made a hive in this lion's like corpse, and he's under this oath that he can't touch like the dead or something like that. And he needs this nutrient, and he breaks his oath in order to get that, and that like leads to his eventual downfall because he breaks like multiple tenets of this oath that made him strong in the first place. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Like the fact that they're referencing something as specific as that in this, I don't know, kind of cosmic ghost sort of like, you know, the robin's beaks were sharpened, the hawk's claws were not, you know, they tore him to pieces. It's yeah, they're saying something, and I think that that's really cool. Yeah, it's not brutal for the sake of being brutal, right? That's something that I nerd out about is like weird biblical context. For some reason, I just think that it's cool, right? Because it's a thing that people grow up with, but they don't really realize sometimes what it means, right? So whenever you have a metalcore band like referencing the Old Testament like ridiculousness, right? It's just interesting to see. You know? So.
For sure, definitely awesome. So yeah, I'm really stoked for this, and you know, out of curiosity, with you being someone that is newer with a lot of these genres and not as entrenched, can you hear how these guys could have been influential?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's one of those things where I lack the timeline on some of this stuff. So whenever I hear a band like this, I'm like, oh, yeah, these guys are just doing the thing. But whenever you hear that they came out in 93, 98, you're just like, oh, okay, so they did it, and then everybody else did it, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah. But no, Zayo, I'm looking forward to this because, yeah, again, I'm so out of the loop that I'm just over here saying Zow, but like this new album,
Zow.
Stoked for it. Zow. Now on to
so check out Zayo, The Crimson Corridor, self-released as well, coming out this Friday.
Really, they're self-releasing as well. Okay, so that's interesting. Just because they have been around for a while, I'm curious if they're like, if they been doing that, or have they been on a label, or do you know?
I'd have to look that one up. Let's see what their last. If they've had anything.
Also, now that my beard is past scruff level, I can't stop touching it. Do you have that same problem? Yeah.
I definitely sit here and do this a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, they were on a label for the last album.
Okay.
Smaller label, but I mean, you know, with today's day and age, labels are a lot less needed in bands. There's a lot more bands that are moving to self-releasing, or if it's on a label, it's like the guitarist's label, whoever's doing most of the recording and producing.
Right. The biggest benefit that I see with the label is music video budgets and maybe some logistics as far as touring. But if you don't mind handling that stuff yourself, then, come on with it,
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Now, on to something that I was looking forward to from the beginning because I intentionally did not watch this music video. It dropped yesterday.
Yes.
Red Fang. We both love Red Fang. We love Red Fang's hot sauce. We love Red Fang's music videos. They're just a great band. You've seen this.
Yeah. I had to watch it like immediately. It's great. It's, Red Fang, for those who have never seen any of their videos, Red Fang usually have really, really damn good and funny music videos, and this did not disappoint. And what's even better is it's a big callback reference to the Wires video.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
So it's awesome in that regard.
I love them musically. And I think that I think it's always fun whenever a band puts like a lot of work and thought and talent into the music. But doesn't take themselves seriously enough to follow that up with the marketing and the promotion and all of that stuff in the same sort of style. You know, it's cool to have a cohesive brand, but these guys, it's very clear that it's just like once the album is out, they're just like, okay, it's time to dick around, right? So, yeah,
like let's go. Yeah, the song itself is really sick too. For anyone who hasn't listened to Red Fang, they're like a stoner rock, stoner metal band. Lots of just, really sick, crunchy, sludgy type riffs with some pretty good, just good vocals on tops. And this does not fail to deliver.
Yeah.
It's really damn good.
It's stoner rock for people that drink Miller Lite. Here we go.
Hell yeah. Just seeing this shot already, I was like, this is the fucking beginning of Wires.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Have we done this before? No. Whoa, katana sword? Yeah.
And this video is going to be right up your alley, too. Because I know what you used to do with the machete.
Label sent us a check last week. It was barely enough to pay for this thing.
David, do you think Kiss would spend their entire video budget on a sword?
Nope. And that's why their videos are idiots.
They definitely down-tuned a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit slower. It's a little bit lower. It's still Red Fang sounding, right?
Oh yeah.
I gotta say though, just the dumbness of that dialogue. Wow, katana sword.
Yeah.
Do you think Kiss would spend all of their music video budget on a sword?
No, and that's why their videos are idiots.
Fantastic. Like, it's fantastic. And the rest of the video is just slicing things in half. It's great.
Yep. Oh, it gets even better. Because it becomes exactly what you used to do with that fucking machete.
Yeah, so back in 2016, I found a flat-bladed machete at a thrift store, or not a thrift store. What am I talking about? Like an antique store? I don't know.
Was it a military?
No, God, no. It was like the Denton Mini Mall. They had, for some reason, just like machetes just chilling. You could buy bed frames from the 1920s. You could buy pottery, or you could buy machetes. So I bought one, and pretty much everything that's happening in this is just what you do whenever a machete enters your life. So I relate very hard. You called that from the get-go. Well done.
Yep. Yep. I was like, because I remember you sending me videos of like flipping burgers with the machete, like opening beers with the machete, buttering toast, just lights. Like all.
Yeah, no, anything that you can like reach with this tiny blade, you do it. I relate. I love it. Always a fan of Red Fang, for sure.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
way
man.
too good. What's crazy? It's been 5 years since Red Fang put out a new album, so like it's been a big gap. So it's awesome that we're finally getting something new.
I didn't even realize that. No, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's. I know, like you don't think about it, but yeah, it's been 5 years since we've had new Red Fang. So
2016.
I'm very excited.
Okay.
The album's coming out June 4th, so be ready.
Okay, I was stoked, man. I was stoked to have it this week. But no, it's not happening. So
I know, right? Shame. I wish. No, they literally. You can see the video just dropped yesterday. I wish we were getting the album this week, but
sure. But hey, it's whatever. June. When did you say 4th?
June 4th.
June 4th. Looking forward to it.
We got a while to wait yet, unfortunately, but there's more Red Fang coming, so be hyped.
Be hyped. I am actually really hyped to check out more of Unflesh. I love those guys that are just like underrepresented. You find them, you love them, you check them out after that. So if you're watching this and you need somebody to check out from the New Hampshire metal scene, by all means, Unflesh. We've had some good bands this week. It was a little bit of a short episode, but we're recovering from our technical problems over the last week and also the Easter weekend. So hey. The high holidays and the ridiculousness. So, Kev, next week, do you know of anything crazy coming out in advance? I know we discussed this before, right? Is Cannibal Corpse coming out next week?
I believe so.
Okay.
I think the new album's dropping. So we still have a while to wait yet, let's see here. Violence Unimagined. April 16th. So yep, we've got a little over a week to wait, but Violence Unimagined is dropping new brutal Cannibal Corpse.
Very nice. Yeah, look forward to it next week, man. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Check out these bands if you want to.
Yep.
Always give them the support if you can, and otherwise we'll see you next week. One more time, I'm gonna apologize. Sorry about last week. I'm learning here, but we'll get it together. And Kev.
Yep.
Final words.
As always, thanks for listening. And don't worry, Dan, I made that mistake once already. We did have to re-record an entire episode once because my frickin' mic was not recording. Yeah, so, shit happens. But
we fixed yours. We fixed yours and you look like a professional. I'm over here looking like a jabroni in a green room. That's not even chroma keyed. What am I doing?
Pathetic.
All right, see you guys.
Y'all stay brutal.